Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is my Ys VIII, Lacrimosa of Dana, Inferno walkthrough. This is the Accursed Island Guardian Oceanus. Oceanus, as they like to say in the game. I call him Captain Anus because he's a massive dickhead. And the strategy here is immensely simple, guys, but unfortunately, this boss has a tendency to give you horrendous strats and horrendous patterns. So, at the beginning, I jumped in the air when he screams because it stops you from having to eat a mandatory knockdown, which is really annoying because you can air recover instead. Then, you want to stand close to the centre of the platform where I stood to bait the slams, and then punish the slams with the mighty orbit. Once you've done that, immediately swap to Addle once the beast is stunned, and then jump all the way down to the bottom, beat up on him, hit him as hard as you can, but do not transition his HP into the next bar. If you do that, you'll trigger the second phase. We don't want to do that, we want to try and skip it. So it's very intentional that you keep him with a decent amount of HP. If you can get him to about 60,000 life, which is what that number in the top right says, that's his HP, that's a good amount. If you did this correctly, he will go back to hitting you with his fins, or his tentacles. If he starts firing projectiles and breathing ink, you did it wrong. So do not use your extra move either, that's very important. So right now, wait for him to do his slam, punish it with the Brave Fencer so you've got double the amount of time with the slow motion. And just something to note, guys, the Mighty Orbit is a really good move, but it traps you inside of it. You have to really mash B to get out of it. The best way to avoid that lockdown is to do it in midair. If you do it in midair, you can cancel out of it quicker. So jump and then do it, jump and then do it is the best way to do it. When you've stunned him, I'm going to wait for my team to get closer so that there's more than one person hitting, and all you do now is beat it up to an inch of its stun bar and then use your extra skill. If done correctly, you will push his HP past the threshold of the second phase and jump to the third phase. This is incredibly important because if you don't do this, he'll breathe ink, and when the ink turns up and the projectiles turn up, this fight goes and becomes a complete shit show. It's way more difficult then. However, if his first move is bullets, you're going to kind of be nervous. Use this as an opportunity to hit his hand though with the slow motion and try and get another hit if you can. But if you see the slams, it generally means that you're in the right place. What we want is we want the boss to hit us with his tentacles. That's a tentacle move, you can jump it. So what does he do next? That's the the vertical slash, double vertical slash, just move away from whichever tentacle does it, and there's the slam. Now we know he's doing melee attacks, it tells me that we've done this correct, and as long as I get the stun, I've won. And do you see that? The hitbox on that move doesn't actually start until much lower, and there's a bit of invincibility while you do that move sometimes, so I managed to not get hit even though I thought I was going to. That was a really scary moment. And then once again, wait for your team to get with you. Don't wait too long though. And then start hitting the core with the biggest and best hit you can. And then get back up onto the platform. Hopefully, you killed it just then. I didn't, and then this got a little bit scary because I thought it was going to breathe the ink. The reason the ink is a problem, guys, is because it lags the screen out. It makes the screen go funky, and actually parrying the ink is the kind of parry that you have to repeatedly parry it until it leaves, and it lingers for ages. You will sometimes spend 40 seconds parrying the ink. It's really frustrating, so I didn't do that. It can be useful though, because you can parry it, use the invincibility to hit the limbs, parry it again, and keep refreshing like that. But because you can't see anything when it happens, it just becomes a bit of a clusterfuck. So follow that strategy, skip the second phase, do as much damage as you can. That is one of the most awkward and annoying fights in the game. If you can do that, you can do anything in this game. Thank you for watching, you take care now.